Hello, and welcome to episode 73 of Coming Out Swinging. I am your host, Lynette Fully Love. And here on Coming Out Swinging, we believe that with the power of our words, we create our blueprints, construct our environments, and we can change the trajectory of our lives. Our foundation scriptures are found in Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat its fruit. And Revelation 12 and 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. So, you know how we do this. I want you to get your Bible, get your pen, and get your notebooks ready because we're about to enter the ring of life and go as many rounds as it takes. Today's topic is When Autism Speaks. And we have a very special guest today. So, you know what? Here comes the music. Let's get ready to rumble. Autism Speaks. It's a foundation that was founded in February 2005 by Bob and Suzanne Wright, who were the grandparents of a grandchild who had autism. They believe that recognizing the need for a powerful voice for this condition was necessary. And so many donations were made in order to bring Autism Speaks to life. So, while April is the month that is recognized for autism awareness, which is now dubbed autism acceptance, I'm very excited to have my special guest with us today. And his name is Kadin, and we're going to go ahead and bring him on so that you can hear from him directly how autism speaks. Caden, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Lynette. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I was very pleased to hear from you after you heard a Coming Out Swinging episode and felt the alignment of the program's theme, which is using the power of our words. And so seems like it also aligns with Autism Speaks. So tell me, what is it that you want, our listeners and the world to understand about autism? What has been your experience?
My experience in society has been fine. When I was first diagnosed, there was a question of capabilities due to how society understood autism at the time, which was 2006. I'm 21 years old now, and I think it's amazing how much progression we've made since then in our understanding of the condition. I think we need more of that, and we need
Mhm.
to ignore the people in the media and politics who are trying to take away that progress.
Wow. So, in doing my research, Caden, I understand that there's a lot of like nonprofit organizations that are in place to assist us with understanding and being inclusive of persons who have autism. So I understand that you are working and that you're in school. So tell us about how you're experiencing that support in those environments.
It's all about patience. Actually graduate in a few days at the time of this report.
Wow.
Oh, and it feels special. So everyone's incredibly patient with me. There are a few employees and individuals who aren't. That's just how society works. But the
Mm-hmm.
big thing is, they're patient with me without babying me and treating me differently because of a condition.
And I can only imagine how that makes you feel because you know that having autism hasn't hindered you from being able to be a productive citizen. And so how are you using your those spaces both at work or at school to actually speak? How are you coming out swinging in your ring of life with regards to being accepted and not just someone being aware of you having autism, but accepting of it?
I've learned that if people don't accept me due to their own insecurities or what they're going through, that's a them
Mm-hmm.
problem. I've learned just to focus on the people that do accept me.
I like that, Kaden, and I think that's a very positive way to even go through life in general because we know that we're all going to, whether we have autism or not, we're going to have that group of people that accept us and then those that don't. But it's up to us to still let our voices be heard with our respective gifts and our passions. So tell us a little bit about what you are about to graduate with. What degree are you about to receive?
I'm about to receive a bachelor's in communications.
Now, I think that's a very powerful degree in communications. So you're going to be communicating the power that you have, not just as someone with autism, but where do you plan to use that degree? Where area of work would you like to secure?
I'm hoping to eventually work for some form of a non-profit in their communications department on a full-time basis. I've worked with several of them on a freelance and commission basis, but a full-time position would help make all of that worth it.
I agree. I will be in prayer with you, Kaden, that that door opens for you. It's clear that you have a passion for it, and and I believe that now that you will have had some experience, that someone will grab you right away and put you to work. So, if there was a message that you would want for the community or the world at large to understand about someone in your position, now that so clearly you're about to get your degree, you've been working this whole time, what message would you want to send for people to be understanding and accepting of individuals with autism?
I would say just do it. Just be accepting and patient with these individuals because you never know who they're going to be in the future.
That's true. You know, I was looking up the definitions, as you know, following Coming Out Swinging. I absolutely love getting an understanding of words. And so I used to, as was everyone's practice, to say, that it was this particular subject's awareness month. And so when looking up autism awareness, I found it very interesting that there was a shift from just being aware, being conscious, or having an individual perception of it, but being accepting. And there was a part of the definition that was very important to me. And it says it's a state of being deemed satisfactory and inclusive. And it says having a favorable attitude toward a person. So we know we're not in a perfect world, right, Kaden? So we've
Right.
had experiences where people's attitude toward us were not favorable. How have you handled when that's happened to you?
I've stopped letting it bother me, and I've leaned on my support system because I realize that if people, as I said, don't accept an individual due
Hmm.
to whatever insecurities they have, that's the level of their intelligence, not that individual.
In addition to that acceptance, Caden, how can we best support the independence of individuals who have autism in their daily activities? What would be a way that if I were to meet you sitting next to you in the restaurant or coming in the store somewhere, what would be an acceptable way of behavior? What does that look like to you?
Just treating all individuals like anyone else in society.
Hmm.
It's as simple as that.
So kindness. Hmm. Kindness is something that I think a lot of people have forgotten what that's a part of our, humanity, just to be kind, to smile, and to not judge. Because while I may not have autism, there are probably some other aspect of my life that I would want someone to have that awareness and or that acceptance of. So it's not isolating individuals if they have autism. It's just another group that requires that level of awareness and acceptance. What are the best ways that you have found that you've received comfort and positive reinforcement from your community?
Mm, I, we honestly never paid attention to it. I'm just out there living my life.
Yeah. So, how has it been in school? Do you find that you had support when you were taking your classes?
It was 50-50, honestly,
Okay.
but obviously it was worth it.
And when you say 50-50, what do you mean?
Mm, Exactly that. Some individuals support me and some didn't.
Gotcha.
That's
Just
completely
say the same way with
self-explanatory.
everybody in life, huh? Yeah. When we were talking and scheduling, getting this all scheduled, we ended up coming out of the month, as I said, April being designated for Autism Acceptance Month, and that we're in May. And just like, as an African American, we believe that February is not just, a month. We thank God for the month to celebrate our history, but there's always a good time to share that history because it's always being made. In what way do you hope to make an impact in the community for autism that will go down in history? What event or act or a way of living that you plan to execute so that you can do that? What way would you like to make history?
That's a good question. And I would say continuing doing what I'm doing now, writing
Yeah.
my articles, living my life, going on these platforms.
Hmm. And so when you share that, so what would be a goal that you may have that you when you do this particular thing, do you feel like you're contributing? So I'm glad you went to school and congratulations on graduating soon. That's a wonderful accomplishment. What would a success story look like for you?
Exactly that. What I'm doing right now. Oh, in fact, I feel I'm already successful in a
Oh, I
way.
like that. Way to come out swinging, Caden. Absolutely. You know, as you know from the podcast, when we are in our respective rings of life, we have different things that come up against us. And the premise of the podcast is that we come out swinging with the power of our words. And Caden has definitely let us know that he is ready to enter his ring of life and to come out swinging. He's about to graduate with his communications major, and he wants to use that education, his experience, and his passion for his community. So if you're listening to this podcast, or if you know someone that has a nonprofit where they're able to utilize the experience and the passion that Caden has, reach out to Coming Out Swinging. I'll be glad to help you get in touch with him. But hey, Caden, you're on right now. How can individuals or corporations get a hold of you if they want to know more about your story, or even, we pray, are ready to offer you an opportunity to use your communications background with their nonprofit? How can they reach you?
Absolutely. They can reach me on LinkedIn at Caden Ronald McElwain. I'm sure you'll put the link in the chat once this is up.
That's true. I'll get that information out to share with them. Um, and my last question for you is, what resources or support groups are available for families with children or even adults who have autism?
I can name one right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Uh, we just released our latest issue of Autism Digest, which is the magazine I do a lot of this work for. It's
Okay.
a great resource for families. It includes inspirational stories, information
Hmm.
on other resources. If people want to get that, they can go to autismdigest.com.
I love it. And I'm going to actually look up that resource myself. Wow, Kaden, it's been absolutely wonderful having you on and to see that you are embracing the coming out swinging model of using the power of your words to get your message across. And any way going forward that I am able to support you, I will certainly do that. Do you have any last words for our audience before we move on with the rest of our day?
Oh, we've covered pretty much everything. Thanks for having me, Lynette.
Absolutely, Katie. And I hope to have you again after you get the job you're looking for and we get to catch up with you and see how things are going. Well, coming out swinging audience, I hope this has been a blessing to you. I know it has been a blessing to me. And it is a tremendous blessing to me to know that coming out swinging is reaching beyond the borders of Texas, where I live. Caden lives in New York. And I appreciate his support of the podcast. And it has been my absolute pleasure having him on as my special guest. So I want to thank you, whether it's Monday morning or whatever time that you find yourself watching this podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that button so that you are notified when Coming Out Swinging goes live. You'll see some information also at the bottom of how you can contribute to keep this podcast going and for me to be able to bring on special guests like Hayden. All right, don't forget, our words have power and they are seeds. And so, what are your harvests producing based on the word seeds you are sowing? It is my pleasure to be before you today. God bless you and have an awesome rest of your week. Take care.